The Sierra Madre Library is a 1954 library, and Sierra Madre is in the foothills of the San Gabriel Mountains, just on the north side of Los Angeles. When I first showed up on site, I was able to talk with the gentleman leading the project. And what he said to me is, you know what, we're looking for a vision. How do we turn our library into a library of the future? My immediate thought was, well, I can't show you 50 libraries, but I can show you a vision. We were able to see what this community really needs and provide a vision for how we were going to help them grow into the future and be a library of the 21st century. And creating that vision in our RFP response led to us winning our first civic project here in California. This is a small community. It's only 10,000 people. In Southern California, a very small town. There's no stoplights in it, only stop signs. So it's a very quaint and lovely town. And they have a single library. It does not multi-branch. And this library has been serving the public since 1954.
So the library is a very important part of the community. Even if you were to walk around the streets right outside of the library, you see so many people in the community doing their daily walks. It's become a place that they not only just recognize, but a place where the community comes together to meet, to socialize, and to study.
It really is a beloved icon in the community. People use it not just as a place to get books, but it's a cultural resource. People go there to connect. Teens go to play Dungeons and Dragons. One of the big concerns was, are we going to be messing up their beloved library? I think one of the things that we were able to provide, we could actually take the mid-century modern design that they love and bring it into more parts of the library. The existing southern side of the library is a blank white wall and does not really match the character of the rest of the building. And so we were able to change that.
The original library had a lot of mid-century modern characteristics to it, and they really pulled in a lot of the indoor-outdoor characteristics too. We wanted to incorporate that into the new edition of the library as well. There's a little outdoor balcony area where they can use it as a space where they can go out and read some books.
I also really wanted to solve one of the major issues of the existing library, which is the parking is behind the library away from the entrance. And so anyone who came and parked had to walk up a non-accessible path around the library or walk up a driveway that cars might be coming down in order to get into the library. And so to me, making a new entry on the south side that was really going to provide a safe way for seniors and for kids, anyone using that library to park and walk straight in just made a lot of sense. And then while still maintaining the entry on the north side, that anyone parking off the street can still use that entry and to access the library as well. For the new library renovation, some of the programmatic elements that were included is there's a new teen scene, which is a location specifically for teens to be able to connect, study together, socialize together. We have a new community meeting room, so it's location in the community to be rentable out to different groups so that they can have functions there. That's something that's lacking in the community currently. One of the great things about the community space is that it has the dual purpose of being used for program elements in the library, but then also being rentable to the community. And so we have 2 single occupancy restrooms right next door. They can have truly a nice function that can spill to the inside of the library or to the outdoors to some adjacent courtyard space, really creating a nice atmosphere for anyone who wants to rent it.
They have a children's space where they can have story time. We have a lot of fun casework and little trees and clouds that really personalize the space and make it a welcoming space for the kids.
There's also new archive spaces. The Sierra Madre Library has quite an extensive archive collection. We're providing safer and better kept archives that's both humidity controlled and temperature controlled to better safeguard that precious resource. And then we're also providing areas such as quiet reading rooms for the seniors so they can get away from some more of the noise, and including almost a little fireside comfortable seating area next to the windows that'll look to the mountains. And part of that design with us laying out all those programmatic elements was trying to lay it out from quiet spaces to noisy spaces so that each space could really operate well within the parameters of what it's trying to accomplish. While we need a vibrant kids room, we don't want that right next to the quiet reading room. And then one of the exciting things, something that was originally part of our vision for the space was a maker space. Initially, the library moved away from that, but One of the things that's been great about this library is a strong public interaction. And we've done that through public forums in which the public has come in and we've been able to share with them the direction of the library, and they've given us feedback. And we've also had our plans up in the library for the community to comment on through sticky notes where they vote on what they want to see more of. And through that, we're bringing a makerspace back into the library. So another challenge in this project is that there are some large historic oaks on the site. And oaks in this community, trees in general, are quite beloved. We had one oak, probably a 100-year-old oak, that was growing up and towards the building. In fact, it was only 1.5 inches from the roof line. And we realized that in order to maintain the building, we were going to have to remove the oak. We came up with a solution, which was to use large sections of the oak tree in the design of the new building. And so we've done that in a couple of ways. We're creating large oak slabs that are going to be part of a donor wall. So as people donate to the building, they're putting plaques on top of the historic oak. And the others, we're making a very large, deep bench. It's about 7 foot long bench made out of the oak as well. And one of the exciting things about this project was because we need to have FF&E in it, I was able to go to the library and pitch using our MOREgroup resources to provide FF&E for the library. And so we've just started working with the library as well as the community, engaging the community to develop what FF&E will be inside this project. After winning this project, I actually got a call from CW Driver. CW Driver is a contractor here in Southern California, and one of their project types that they've been tracking is libraries. And so once we won this, they contacted us because they were really excited about the opportunity for teaming together to look at future projects. And early on, one came up was the Beaumont Library. And so after connecting and coordinating some, we decided to team together for that design build pursuit. And we're able to bring it in and bring another library to our portfolio.
So Beaumont Library is a Carnegie library. It was built in 1914. In the late 1800s to the early 1900s, there were about a couple thousand libraries that were built during that time period, and they were known as the Carnegie Libraries. Carnegie was a steel magnate who donated a lot of money to build libraries all over the US, and this is one of the last remaining Carnegie libraries in Southern California. His philosophy was also wanting the community to be really involved with the libraries, and so a huge part of why even this library was very successful is because the community has been coming together to really meet the needs of the libraries.
I would describe it as a communal centerpiece for the city. It shows the growth of the city itself, as well as the different parts of the renovations and additions.
The Beaumont Library project is actually very interesting because we have the historical Carnegie 1914 portion, and then they have this 1965 edition that they did to it. The 1960s edition that was there didn't really do it justice. So we wanted to really embrace the 1914 Carnegie building into our new design.
This building was kind of a mix of different pieces, and that was tricky. But now we've created something that's much more cohesive with a design language that incorporates all of the original pieces to our new edition, while at the same time making our new edition very prominent.
When we came into the project, we were introducing an additional 9,000 to 10,000 square feet. If you're coming in from the north side of the library, that's where the 1914 portion is. You're coming up this grand portico, and you're entering through these doors that have an arch opening. There's 2 pilasters right next to it. You notice a lot of symmetry in the existing building. Some of these elements we really wanted to incorporate into the addition. For example, the castellated parapets, we brought that into the new addition as well.
Over each entry on the existing 1914 building was an archway, and so we provided an archway to match with cornicing around it, having arched windows across the building, and also matching the same color as the existing building, so again, that they tied together, and really even using some of the exact same ornamentation right over the southern entry door as is over the northern door, so that the two truly are equals and belong together.
One of the design concepts that we decided to focus on was having a spine down the middle of the library. And as you're walking through the newer edition into the 1965 edition and then back into the 1914 edition, if you're coming from the south side, which is the new edition side, that's where the community room is. And those are open after hours for the community to use. And then after that, you see a children's area, a teens area, and there's still a lot of socializing in those spaces too.
One of the things that we wanted to do was separate more noisy spaces from quieter spaces. And so we created a gradation of sound where we concentrated the noisier spaces to one end of the building, our new addition, and then the quieter spaces to the existing building, especially the 1914 Carnegie building.
One of the cool features about this project was the entrance to the central node connection. The central node represents pretty much exactly where our addition starts and where the 1965 piece ends. And we felt that was a perfect connection to perfectly describe the relationship between the new and the old, while also creating a direct route of circulation down the central spine. One of the things we noticed in the 1914 space was the upstairs was not how it was intended to be built. It had office space and storage, and we wanted to open up that space back to be a more relaxed, comforting space to just recline and read. We cleared out the space and are just using furniture and casework to kind of allow flexibility for the space and to let the 1914 charm enter the space.
My favorite part of the project was definitely connecting the historical aspect of it to the new build that we were doing. They have this historical artwork in their 1914 portion that they have. And we looked at that and made some custom casework with some mountains and trees. And also just seeing how excited the client was getting about all the different things we would do in any call we would have. They would get excited about the finishes. They were honestly pretty engaged with us in picking out the different materials and just giving great feedback to us. And it was great to see a client being really engaging as well.
The Beaumont Library was a really exciting team effort and a really great opportunity to work with our staff, some of who are a bit younger and really experiencing a project.
It was the first time that we worked together really as a whole team from start to finish. And I couldn't be more happy for what we were able to deliver for the city.
We had a great camaraderie and I think we work well together and welcome crits from anyone. It was just a great experience and we learned a lot from each other.
We bounced a lot of good ideas off of each other. Having everyone so flexible with design, with concepts was really helpful for a new designer like myself. This project was pretty impactful for my career because I got to see it from concept design all the way to the groundbreaking. That's something I've never seen before.
The thing that's special to me about libraries is the opportunity to be a part of such a public-focused project. And libraries have become more than repositories of books. They are really community centers, they're senior centers, they're play spaces, they're maker spaces. The opportunity to be a part of something that's going to bless people's lives for decades and decades to come is really exciting.
It's been a long time coming. When the building was first built, that was over 100 years ago. Having gone through not just generations, but even generations of directors at the library, each one has contributed a little bit more to this moment where TSK is able to provide the addition to design the building. And being part of that has been really awesome.
My job has a real life impact. That was something I hadn't really thought about. When you're working on renderings and floor plans, you don't necessarily think about how this can impact the community. It kind of proved to me that even the smaller places that architects work on, whether it's in a big city like LA or just on the outskirts, are just as important everywhere.
This project, I think, will have a really big impact on the community because just from what I heard at the groundbreaking, they seem to all have a personal connection with this library, just being around the area, being very involved. Everyone just seemed very excited about it. And even just the community room alone, if it's not the full library, the whole community is going to benefit from it. They're going to have probably town hall meetings and just different types of events there that I can envision them having.
I think libraries play such an important part of every community. It's a place where people who are just kids to teens and all the way through to adults and even seniors, where they can find a place that's safe, that's quiet, where they can connect and find the resources that they need. As an architect, I couldn't be more excited to be part of a project like this.
Libraries are meant to really bless people and provide an opportunity for really growth at any stage of life. These projects are going to have a huge impact on their communities and already have started to do so. With Sierra Madre, throughout the process, we've been connecting with the community, and the community is really excited to see what's coming and have had a part themselves in determining how the project looks and what's inside of it. And looking at Beaumont, we've had a similar experience in the groundbreaking. We saw such a wonderful reaction, not only from the current staff, but also from previous generational leaders of the library and other libraries in the neighborhood who came to see what is happening. We were given such a huge compliment by the Beaumont staff in which they told all the other libraries in attendance that if they have any work that they need done to call us. And so it's been a really exciting to see, even before these projects are done, how they're already starting to affect the staff and the communities with their excitement in terms of what's coming and the spaces that they're going to get to occupy.